introduce our host today. Councilwoman Lily Darden has been working diligently in the City of Compton since July 2021, where she was appointed to that position and then re-elected in November 2024. The delightful part about Ms. Darden is she's a previous employee of the city. She retired as the general manager of the water department, but she went through many departments, including the fire department for many years, the general city manager's office, planning, economic development. So she had extensive experience in the city, and I've worked with many people over my life and time. In fact, I started working before there was a facsimile machine. That's to kind of give you the reference point. We call it a fax machine, which they don't have anymore. And I've never seen a person more focused and dedicated to their respective product. Our product, of course, is servicing people and to ensure that there's quality of life improvement at every level. So with that, make sure you sign in. We distribute from the desk of Councilwoman Lily Darden on a frequent basis via email. We're not a social media department. We like to keep the focus just in the city of Compton. It's kind of hard entertaining Amsterdam and Europe and places like that when you go on social media. You're at the world's beckoning. So we like to keep it focused on your personal emails, and we communicate very frequently. We're delighted that Hub City Legend is streaming this particular meeting. This is Lonzo Williams. He's the president of the Compton Entertainment Chamber of Commerce. And we also have another chamber here, Maria Villarreal. Maria is with the Compton Latino Chamber of Commerce. I'm delighted that you are able to also make it. So our chambers are ensuring that we're developing a stronger base, and many of you have the agendas on your chairs, and we're going to try to follow it as close as possible. So with that, with excitement and enthusiasm, I bring to the podium the wonderful Councilwoman Lily P. Darden.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
First, let me thank Dean for this wonderful introduction. I was kind of looking behind me to see who he was referring to, and then I realized, oh, that's me. Yeah, and I want to just say this. Dean is such an important part, working as the assistant, doing everything he possibly can. He reaches out to the citizens. He responds every time there's a call to come in and I'm not available. And I'm just blessed to have Dean on my team. So don't tell anybody, but we're paying each other for these compliments. You believe it? Absolutely not. No. Listen, I say, to be in this position I'm in, if you don't have a sense of humor, you'll go crazy. Yeah. So you must, and I'm just me. I can't be Aretha Franklin or none of them. I'm just Lily Pearl Darden. So, and I'm here to serve the citizen. And I must say, I'm a dedicated public employee. See, I've worked so long for the city that I still make an employee. Dedicated public servant, and I'm committed 100% to doing whatever I can to move our city forward. Again, thank you so much for spending this morning with us to share your ideas and to listen to what we have to say about our city. Now, the upcoming fiscal year, 26-27, brings fresh opportunities for growth and progress. I am confident that city management will deliver excellent services to residents and businesses alike. Now, I have a lot more information to share, but I will come back from time to time to share further information about all the good things that are happening here in our city.
Those 2 pages didn't work. Thank you, Ms. Darden. She'll interject as appropriate. Many of you know that we had contract services for our public safety through the LA County Sheriff's Department. And I'm delighted to be able to know and work with our current captain. He's done a marvelous job, although he's only been here a short period of time. But conscientious effort. I see more black and whites rolling through our streets since he started.
Yeah.
And I see more conscientiousness from the officers about the quality of service they're rendering. So let's welcome our captain, Mr. Victor Puebla.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So happy to see all of you this early on Saturday morning, April 18th. And just to share a little personal information about myself, April 18th is actually my wedding anniversary. So thank you. Been married to my wife for 17 years now, and we did everything backwards. So we had our kids first, and then we got married. So we've been together for 27 years now. So I'm glad the meeting is early, so I can make it up to her this afternoon.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So, like Dean said, I've been here for 8 months now. I met with a lot of you during the early fall last year. And again, one of the things that I definitely want to highlight is I've been very, very impressed by the community engagement in Compton since I've been here. Actively, we do have a core of people that are actively involved in the events that I attend or that the city puts on. But lately I've seen a lot more new faces, and that's very positive for me, very positive for our station to be able to engage with all of you. So we definitely appreciate you attending, and so we can share some of your concerns or address some of your concerns as well. So one thing I want to talk about first, I'll get into a couple of things that we have done here at Compton Station since I've been here. And I'm definitely glad to hear the community consistently either tell me, some of the council members that they're seeing some of our guys actively out in the streets, and that's definitely what we expect, right? We expect our guys to be out there and definitely want to impress upon them even more for the engagement. I may have shared some of this with you guys early on when I first got to Compton Station, but I understand the mindset of some of the young guys, young men and women that come out to patrol. If you can put it in perspective, is they're out here and they're trying to chase some of the active, violent activities, some of the guys that are probably the more significant problem offenders, which is great, and this is what we expect them to do, what we want them to do. But I also want them to recognize the interaction with the community is just as important, right? Even slowing down and having a conversation or maybe finding out what's going on and what's important to them is something that we're also working on as well. So for street takeovers have been a significant problem in Compton for a very long time. It's something that I knew of before I came to Compton Station. I had never personally witnessed a street takeover event, and when I first landed at Compton Station, my first couple of weeks here, when I went out on weekend nights to see it for myself, the best way I can describe it is very, very chaotic. Very chaotic. And if it goes unchecked or uncontrolled, it becomes a huge nightmare for the city and a huge problem for us, right? Because the event will grow larger in numbers, and it becomes a mob mentality, and sometimes it becomes violent confrontations or breaking into businesses or nearby neighborhoods. So since I've been here, the problem was so bad, and before I get into the positive things about the street takeover activity that we've done, I definitely want to recognize that it's still a significant issue. It's still something that we're actively involved in, and we have a lot of improvement to do. But we have had a lot of success recently. I don't know if you pay close attention to the media in the last couple of weeks, there have been street takeover events that have happened in other cities that have turned very violent. We had just last weekend alone, there was one in Rosemead that turned into a shooting. There was a suspect who was shot. There was a victim that was shot in that instance. And there was the very next night, there was also a shooting over in the Florence Firestone area, which is not common, but it's still too close for comfort, right? So I say that to say our guys are actively involved to keep the numbers down in this area, and the numbers that I'll share with you right now will highlight some of that. So the second half of last year, we saw a 40% drop, 41% drop, 2025 compared to 2024. That's a very large drop. It went from 274 in 2024 to 160 street takeovers. So that's a drop in 100 during that 6-month time period. The biggest significant drop was in the last quarter of last year, which is October, November, December. We had a 64% drop in the area of Compton. So the numbers are going down, but we're still committed. So one of the big efforts we've done as in collaboration with neighboring agencies, we've had more collaborative operations which include LPD, CHP, and the neighboring agencies. And what these operations entail essentially is sharing of information. So the street takeover events don't just happen in Compton and stay in Compton throughout the night. They go through neighboring cities. They all communicate and go to Hollywood, to Rosemead, to Lakewood, to Compton throughout the evening. So what's important for us to be able to do is share that intel with other neighboring agencies when we're doing these operations, and that's some of the success we've seen in reducing some of this activity. The next thing I want to highlight as well is it was such a huge problem in the past in Compton where there were so many street takeovers where our guys weren't even able to respond immediately. So the drop that I just shared with you in numbers has allowed us to control it to where we're able to respond as a priority call, usually within 5 or 6 minutes, to a scene and be able to disperse it much quicker. So again, they're still happening, but we've been able to disrupt them much faster. And one of the community members just shared with me this morning an event that happened near Atlantic and Alondra. She heard the activity and what she shared with me was positive that within a short amount of time our guys were there and they dispersed it. So that's exactly what we want to see. Of course, we're taking continuous action. Anyone who's involved in that activity will go to jail and get cited, of course, right? If you're a spectator at an event like that, there's a difference between getting caught in a street takeover event. That's not going to get you a citation because you're just a victim of the circumstance, right? But if one of the spectators who participate and block an area or get in the middle of an intersection, that is clearly you're engaged in that activity. It's a legal activity, and we'll take action behind that. One of the recent the city of Compton has approved flock cameras a couple of weeks ago. We're looking forward to seeing them put out throughout the city in the next month or two. I definitely want to highlight why we as a law enforcement agency look forward to the flock camera system. The flock camera system is an investigative tool only. There's a misconception where people think that they're being tracked with the flock camera system, and that's not the way it works. And this is why I want to share that information with you, so you know from our perspective how that works. So the flock cameras, and it's my understanding they're going to deploy about 100 throughout the city. That's going to allow us to get leads much quicker and solve crime much quicker. So if there is a armed robbery or a violent shooting or anything of the above that happened in this area, and we're familiar with what may be a general description of a suspect vehicle, and it traverses through an intersection with the flock camera system, our leads will be identified much quicker, right? So if somebody says, hey, it's a white, smaller sedan with some damage to the rear bumper, these cameras will allow us to be able to shorten the list, and our leads will get identified much quicker. So, of course, there's transparency, there's audits and accountability. Our personnel cannot use that system for personal use. It's investigative use only, investigative leads. Whenever they do any queries with these systems, that is tracked, that is monitored, and it has to be justified with a criminal investigation. It has to be tied with a criminal investigation. If there's ever any allegation of misuse and we look into it and we identify it, that's obviously not acceptable, and we'll hold people accountable. The other thing I want to explain about the flock camera system is what it's essentially tracking or taking a picture of is a license plate. So it's memorializing a license plate that drives through an intersection. It doesn't mean that if you drive through it, all of a sudden it runs your information, now we know who you are and where you live and all that. That's not the way it works. It's only memorializing the license plate. The only time we will get a notification is if that license plate is associated with a crime. So if that vehicle was wandering in a robbery down the street, a murder down the street, our guys will know that it's in the area. They're expected to verify that information and make sure it's current, and we'll look for that. We'll look for that vehicle. So technology is great. We're looking forward to the advancement, and we appreciate the city investing in those efforts. And again, I want to highlight that this is something, from my experience in law enforcement, sometimes law enforcement agencies are the ones that are pushing that forward to the cities, and I got to give credit to city management, city manager, city council members for actually asking us if that was something that would help us, and absolutely yes, that's a resounding yes. So it was a reverse. The city came to us to help us out, so we're looking forward to that. Drone is a first responder program. That's something that's in the works with the LA County Sheriff's Department. It's been something that's been talked about for quite some time. Unfortunately, with a large agency, we can't just make a change overnight. We want to have a drone as a first responder program. However, we have to get this all approved through the boards, oversight commissions, board supervisors and such. But we're very close to having a trial program at compensation, hopefully several months later down this year. It'll be a trial program only, but our department is actually getting together a dedicated unit for the entire agency, so we make sure that program is a success. And the way these drones will work is they would respond, of course, to a call for service, typically priority calls, right? Something that's more significant in nature, and we would be able to assess, get intelligence overhead before units respond, and hopefully be able to identify a suspect much quicker and follow and get to that and resolve that problem much faster. So the way these drones work is they only record when they get on scene. Once they get overhead, they would record when they get on scene. Once the operation is over, the camera's off, and it goes back into the platform at the station. Now, for transparency, of course, those recordings get automatically uploaded to our evidence.com, which is all of our camera footage associated with an investigation, just like body-worn cameras. So when deputies respond to a call for service and they activate their body-worn camera, that gets uploaded and identified with the call for service. That's exactly the way the drone program will work as well. So that's something to look forward to in the future. And the last thing I'll talk about, and I'll open it up to questions if you have any questions of me, is immigration, right? Federal agents coming into communities for immigration enforcement. And one thing that we definitely want to make clear, I'm sure most of the community understands, but there's definitely a section of the community that thinks that we're involved with immigration enforcement, and that's far from the truth. Senate Bill 54, state Senate bill, prohibits law enforcement from engaging in immigration enforcement. That's not what we do. If any community member has contact with our personnel out in the field, whether it's a traffic stop or a call for service, we do not ask for someone's immigration status. That's not what we do. And if we were ever to even find out that status, we don't share that with the feds, with Homeland Security. The only time our department is ever involved with any Homeland Security operations or federal operations when it's related to a criminal investigation. So if there's a criminal investigation where an FBI task force is looking at, let's say, some gang activity in the area or anything along those lines, if it's a criminal investigation, then those are the times we do get involved with federal operations. One thing for sure is that we do have specialized units on this department that are undercover. Sometimes they're not clean cut. They have, scruffy beards or long beards, and people mistake them for federal agents. So there have been times where, whether it's a narcotics investigation, a gang investigation, or some major crime operation investigation, those that are undercover are also detectives. And when they serve a search warrant, the community has mistaken them for federal agents, or Homeland Security, Immigration Enforcement, and that doesn't happen. Of course, if there's a concern, you're always free to contact the station, but to inquire. Also, one thing that our guys will differentiate us from Homeland Security is our guys never wear masks. So if you see someone wearing a mask, he's likely a Homeland Security agent. He's not going to be a LA County Sheriff's Department employee. Also, if you ask of our personnel their name and badge number, we are obligated to give you that information. One thing that I would like to emphasize, though, is I don't expect my guys to have to repeat their name and badge number 3 or 4 times. If they do their part and give you their name and badge number one time, they have other things to do. I don't want them to compromise their safety out in the field.
That's right.
So there are people that like to, agitate or try to, continue to harass our guys by getting in their face and asking for that information. They only have to ask for it one time, and they'll get it one time only. I don't expect my guys to have to keep repeating themselves. So that's it in terms of that. So I'm trying to keep it short to give you guys an opportunity to ask me any questions or anything I can fill you guys in with. Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you so much.
What is going to be done with respect to loitering outside of the liquor stores? There are just right here in this area, there's about 4 liquor stores, and there's signs outside that say no loitering, and they hang out all day. They have chairs, and they just have a good old party, and it's every day.
Right.
And that doesn't seem very welcoming to me when I get off the freeway from work and see all of this happening. So what are you guys going to do about that? Because it's not acceptable.
So I can agree with that. Of course, we have to make sure we make contact with the business to make sure they're not allowing it, 1, right? 2, if the business is calling us and identifying a problem regarding loitering that they don't want in their parking lot. A lot of the loitering sometimes, unfortunately, is associated with some drinking in public or other illicit activity, right? So, yes, that is a call for service. It's not it would be considered a routine call for service, so our guys would get there within the hour, hopefully much sooner. If they're there, they would contact the parties, contact the business owner, make sure that there's no discrepancy as to why they're there, and they can be advised to leave the area, right? So if it's a regular problem, I would expect our guys, if it's the same problem players that are involved in that loitering, then I expect our guys to at least issue citations and things of that.
Officer, it's a daily problem, and it starts from the moment that the liquor store opens until the liquor store closes. And if there's a no loitering sign outside of the business, why can you not enforce it?
No, we can enforce it.
Well, it's not being enforced.
We can enforce it. Now, let's say, for example, a community member calls, right? Sometimes a community member wants to remain anonymous. Sometimes some person wants to be identified so that we can take further action, right? So it all depends on the circumstance. If I come up on a scenario where someone is, a call for service was generated regarding loitering, and we respond and we see them, they would be warned and advised initially, right? We can't just automatically cite them for loitering because that's the first time we observe them at the location. Now, if we were to respond again later within the hour and they still are not adhering to the warning and the advisement, then a citation should be expected.
So are you saying that the no loitering, I just need to understand this, so the no loitering outside of the building, regardless if it's there and your units pass by and see them, you're just going to do what's been happening since I've lived here, just pass by and just let them continue to have a good old time outside of the liquor store. Is that what you're telling me?
That's not what I'm telling you.
Is that what's happening?
Well, that's not what I'm telling you, and you also have to understand that we can't just, if there's a call for service that identifies that problem and we're seeing it, then of course it's easier to take action, right? We can't just automatically assume the group that we're driving by is automatically loitering. That's really its own sort of problem.
So I have to call and report it.
You and a lot of other people call.
It's,
Residential, like, think about it.
it's And she's right? So if we have so all call for services are allowed, right? So if we get repeated calls for service regarding loitering at a specific address, we can look that up. So if within the past, month, we received 10 calls for service regarding loitering and it happens to be the same people, then yes, I understand too that there's a problem. So that's all. It's important for multiple people to call. And that helps address the issue.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I just have a comment. So if if given the locations, perhaps we can patrol that area more.
Of course.
So that's one of the first things we need, location where this is occurring.
Of course.
Okay, thank you.
And we also have, well, not specifically for loitering, but we do have our special assignment office, who is a group of 6 deputies and a sergeant that are focused on more of the nuisance or regular activity. They don't get calls for service for the dispatch all over the place. They focus on some of the problem areas. So if there's a specific problem area that we're getting identified about or called about, I would assign it to that team to say, hey, I need you guys to start being a little more active in this area.
Yeah, I promise you, after this meeting, if you drive to the liquor store on Atlantic and Alondra, there's loitering. If you drive down Alondra and there's a liquor store, I think that's Bradfield and Alondra, there's loitering. If you go on Long Beach Boulevard, I mean, this is just right here. Turn left onto Long Beach Boulevard, the liquor store there's loitering. I mean, it's just so bad.
But I see the problem. If there's no call and you guys show up constantly, then I'm being harassed. They're harassing me.
Yes.
And then it's bad on you guys, and then the community's like, oh, the cops are just harassing. But if there's multiple calls and it's you yourself calling every single day, then that's what communities used to do. And they don't do that. They just complain, but they don't call. That's a big issue in this city.
I agree, and I would try not to be the one caller who calls all the time, because then it seems like it's only a problem to you, right?
See, that's the problem. That's the problem. That I am the one that says, and then it's I'm the only
And so
one.
that's why it's important.
Everybody else thinks it's okay.
And that's why it's important as a community, if we have enough people that experience the same issue, and you get together and make it an issue with the
Right.
department,
That's right.
then of course, we'll see it as a bigger problem.
That's right.
One other issue, is it possible that the owner of the liquor store or the manager of the liquor store call? Because I know I live near the one on the laundry in Bradfield. And I know it's been a problem over the years, but we've been calling and it's cleared up. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Good.
It's not as consistent, but it does
It's
happen.
still there. Yeah.
So
Still
That's my point.
that's just as important, or probably more important,
More important.
because it's directly affecting the business.
Yes.
So if the business owner is having a problem with loiterers who are in the area, and now people are not coming to their establishment because they don't want to have to deal with the people that are loitering in the area, it's probably more important for the business owner to be calling those things. But it'll help with the community calls as well. It will help.
I know. I'll get on your nerves, trust me, because I'll call all the time.
Yes.
It's not right.
One of my main concerns is speeding. Do you guys have a traffic control unit? Because there's some streets that are known for just speeding, accidents, red lights, you name it, it happens. And I really don't see people being pulled over as much as we should. So I'm not sure if you guys have a department with short on staff or maybe.
We do have multiple traffic units throughout the shift, especially during the day. We have 2 motor units. So if there's a specific area, and I usually at community events, I hear specific areas. A lot of these the biggest one, where I will take that information back. You want to meet with me after the event today. Actually, write it down.
Greenleaf.
Santa Fe.
Greenleaf.
So what I do with this information is I bring in my motor officers and I tell them, hey, I just attended a community event last week and this is the area that they're identifying. And so what they'll do is, they're not going to do this 24/7, but they'll add it to their rotation, right? So something, so at least every now and then the community seeing them trying to actively do something. So Alondra's a big one. They're on Alondra a lot, but it seems like maybe Alondra has some bigger issues because there's bigger stretches of no street. lights or street, other bumps. I mean, a lot of it's probably like sitting on the street up there.
Relief is a bad one too.
So
Because Relief it's like a private road, right? It's, it's connected to the nursery and that thing.
Green between what?
It's just really when Santa Fe, I noticed a big.
Along the
Santa
drive.
Fe is because everyone's trying to get the 91, and they really, if people trying to avoid the 91 freeway, so they'll take Greenleaf down, and those two, I mean, Santa Fe and Greenleaf, you should look it up how many people have died in that corner from car accidents. And I believe this.
Sorry?
From Long Beach all the way, Greenleaf from Long Beach all the way to Central.
We'll start with those.
I live on a corner, so sometimes my house even shakes by the windows, because it's so, they just pass by, so kind of scary.
Yes, sir.
What is your typical response time now? And also, how many men are you down?
So there's 3 types of call for service. We have an emergency call for service, which by policy department standards we have up to 10 minutes to get to. We average about 5. You have a priority call for service. We have 20 minutes to get to. We average closer to 10. And then you have a routine call, which is an hour, which is the lower level stuff, like a loitering call or a report call. That's usually an hour, and we're teetering on the hour, so that's the only one that we're teetering right at the threshold. Sometimes it could be user error too. So if we have if our deputies, that's all recorded by the way they activate their buttons on their CAD system, the computer system in the car. So when they get to a call, they're expected to push the button and say they're there. But if they say they forgot, and now they're at the call for 20 minutes, and they come back to the car and then they push it, it looks like they got there 20 minutes late versus 10 minutes. So, however, the numbers I gave you are excellent because we're doing much better than what our policy expects us to do. So the shortage is we're short. We're short. The entire department is short. We're allocated for 120 deputies. We're at 90, so we're 30 short. However, one thing that I do want to emphasize is that we have contractual obligations with the city. We're expected to staff at 98% of the contract, so we're expected to fulfill, like if there's 120 deputies at the station, so that means extra overtime for our guys. They have to work overtime, it's mandated. Some people, one of the first things they ask, hey, why are we getting charged overtime in the city to pay your guys if you're short? That's not the way it works. A contract is a contract. Whatever we contract with the city remains the same. The extra overtime comes from different budgets outside of the contract. It comes from a department fund or it comes from a county fund. But yes, so we're meeting our contractual obligations. We're over 98%. We are short. But that means it's directly affecting our personnel. They have to work 6 mandated extra overtime spots a month. Any other questions? Yes.
So is there a number?
Last question.
Is there a number that we call different from just the main number? If there's like a non-nuisance call, example being, recently I had a homeless person in my yard, throwing clothes and just loitering. And so I called the main number. Somebody didn't come out within an hour. And the person left, but they left all of their trash and clothing and so forth. So I'm just wondering, is there a different number to call to address homeless issues?
The same number, the 310-605-6500. That's the same number that goes to the 911 line. So 911 and the number I just gave you are the same person that picks up the phone. However, we can differentiate when you dial that, hey, this one's a 911 call, we have to prioritize this one first. So we'll place the business line caller on hold. But it's the very exact same line. So it depends on the situation. It sounds like, yes, it was a problem for you enough to where you had to call, but it was based on whatever information was gathered, it wasn't deemed a priority or emergency. But I'm glad to hear they are at least there within the hour. Last one, 30.
So you were saying that, the street takeovers get reduced, and, you consider that to responding to them, that's what we're doing, and they're running.
Oh, one thing I definitely forgot to highlight is the efforts by the city, right? The calming devices, the extended medians
Yes.
are another, it's one and the same, right? One and the same. I have to give, they've been very supportive and responsive to our concerns in certain intersections that of course we track that data, and the city's been outstanding. We've had an issue where we bring it to their attention and it gets addressed right away. I know there's also some that may be delayed because of the street, they have to fix the streets before they actually install the devices, but it's one and the same. So there's a work group that the county assigned to us, which involves law enforcement, the infrastructure, which has to do with the extended medians, and there's also community groups that are out there in the community, especially with the young teenagers, trying to emphasize the reason why they shouldn't get involved and what the consequences are. So all of it collectively is working, thankfully. However, one thing we're doing a pretty good job here in Compton reducing some of those numbers. And again, I want to say it's still a big problem, right? I don't want to say it's over. It's not even close to over. It's still a significant problem in Compton. We want to continue to see the numbers go down. We want to continue to be able to control it so we're responding to each one that we hear about. Because before that wasn't happening. There were so many that we couldn't even get to every single one. So now we're getting to them as they happen. However, if you continue to watch the news, these street takeovers are happening in other areas. So they're moving. So maybe because we've had some success here, it's still reducing overall. Even countywide and citywide, we're still seeing a reduction overall. However, the problem is still a huge problem. It's starting to become an issue where it seems like you have park club versus park club type activity, where it's becoming a confrontation, violent confrontation. So it's a problem. We're still committed to it, and hopefully next time I meet with you guys, we'll still highlight some more success.
All right.
Thank you all.
I know you guys have a lot of questions. Captain Public is always available. In fact, 2 weeks ago, we had a town hall meeting over at the youth activities meeting of the YAL on Alameda, and very extensive information. Plus, we had about 8 officers on that. Regarding her loitering, I want to add, there's a liquor store in Long Beach and Shiner, but they don't loiter in front of the store. They know how to take X amount of steps away from it. But they literally have a tent blocking the sidewalk, and this is 24/7. So Shiner and Long Beach, it's been a long problem. But that, you won't get the store owner complaining because it's not at the store. Yes. Okay?
They're selling the alcohol too.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying that's another location we need better eyes on. On your seats, these were bags, compliment Republic Services. I know bags are at a premium nowadays, so enjoy those bags. Also, too, if there's anyone who needs Spanish translation, that's the only language we have available. But Jose is here. Jose works with our recreation department. He's permanently usually at Gonzales, so many of you probably seen him over there. But he volunteered his time to come over. So if anyone needs that, I see Ms. Compton Huga. That's it, right? And Ms. Garcia. Well, I'm getting better at this. Good to see you. She has the crown. These are ambassadors that really help the city receive a stronger positive image. There's is it four? Four crown individuals each year, and they do projects throughout the year. So we're really delighted that these individuals have taken it upon themselves of how to pay things. So they're really representing the city of Compton because our brand is global, and they're really helping that. So with that, I'm going to bring back Ms. Darden. She has a delightful teenager herself she wants to introduce. Ms. Darden.
Thank you, Dean. Let's give Captain Pueblo another hand for all that. And we also want to wish you and your wife a happy anniversary. At this time, we're gonna deviate from the, program, and I would like to take this opportunity to introduce to you our mayor, wonderful Mayor Emma Cherie, and she wants to address you for a few minutes, but she has to leave for another meeting. Mayor Emma Cherie.
Good morning.
Good morning.
First, I would like to give Councilwoman Dunn a round of applause for action. Because I get calls sometimes, and we just not going to have that next meeting. So this is your next meeting, and I'm very happy that you guys are all here today. And I'm very excited about the information that our captain has given out. To let you guys know that we are making progress here in this city, in the relationship that we have with our city, as well as the sheriff department. It's really good. We'll have a great relationship at this point in time, and I'm very excited about that. Because our captain came in and he started moving immediately, trying to make sure they're addressing some of the issues that we was having in the city of Compton. And that's what we really needed. But I just wanted to be here today to just say, I really appreciate you as residents in our community. And I know that there are some concerns that you may have, but I want you to know that we are addressing those concerns and trying to make sure that we're addressing them as soon as possible. We've done a lot of work on our infrastructure. If you don't know, our streets are really, we've done a lot of improvements when it comes to our streets, infrastructure with our streets. Are we finished? No, we're not. But we are definitely moving in the right direction when it comes to actually making sure that we address these needs. We have an economic development piece that's going on. We have several, one on 134th and Central. We have one right here on Compton Boulevard and Dwight that is being worked on as we speak. And we also have another one that's completed right here on Central Boulevard and Compton Boulevard. So that just to give you guys some overview of some of the things that we've done. I know sometimes on this side of town, I live on this side of town, so I know you don't know what's really maybe happening on the other side of town. We just want to make sure that you have all information so that you know what we're doing and what we're trying to do as residents. Because what we're doing, no matter what side of town it's on, it's about all of us.
That's right.
Because we are one, we're Compton. We're one Compton, not separated, we're one Compton.
Yes.
So I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of what we're doing and what we're trying to do here as far as the city is concerned. So they just said, give some updates on it. And one of the things that I was telling you, because I know a lot of times people talk about the homeless, and sometimes the city of Compton is not able to do certain things we want to do, but we can't partner with other people and make sure that it does happen. And what we do have now in the city of Compton, we have 3 projects that was brought in by Hopkins. One of them, which was the intake center. That intake center, people can go to that intake center right here on Compton Boulevard in Bradford. You can go to the intake center if you need any service for homelessness, and that's a one-stop shop. They can have everything that you need right there here in the city. We also have a temporary housing right there as well, and we also have now permanent housing right there on Long Beach Boulevard and Temple right there across the street from the church. So we have those 3 projects right here in our city, and I'm very proud to say that we work with Hopkins to make sure that happens. And so that is very, it's going to be beneficial to the residents. And so I'm very grateful for it. And we're just working on with the small businesses. We're trying to make sure that is happening. Working with the Caltrans to make sure small businesses in our community have an opportunity in order for them to be able to tap into the bidding process. And with that project, I had a meeting yesterday, turned out great. And so those are the things that we really want to help our community, because all of those things really move our residents here in the city of Compton. And so those I'm sorry, can you hear me now? So those things are just some things that we are working on, just to let you know that we're moving those things and moving those things as quickly as possible. So I just wanted to come by today to say, just to greet you and to let you know that this city is definitely moving, and I'm grateful for the progress that we're making. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
And I do have to step out for a minute because I have to get to the leave, but I promise Mrs. Dyer I will definitely be here. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Anthony. The acronym HOPIS, sometimes we throw out acronyms, is Homeless Outreach Program for Integrated Care Services, and they're run by LA County Services. And they just took over so they took over a number of, the county did eminent domain on a number of motel hotels. And the one that she's referring to, 1116 South Long Beach, is the old Travel Lodge Inn. And I think it's a 40 room, and they did their official grand opening this past April 1st. So we're delighted to have that. There was a gentleman when we said we were doing the town hall today. I think it was about a month or so ago when we reserved the space to have the meeting. He immediately raised his hand and said, "I want to be on the agenda." So he's on the agenda. I want to make sure you give our officer for the 4th District through our Community Improvement Services, Officer Charles Watley. Come forward. I have to say, while he's coming up here a few weeks ago, he and I were amazed. Right down here at the end of Caldwell and Atlantic Drive, there was a homeless person. We couldn't believe it. There's a utility vault that has 2 doors on it. I mean, big steel doors. They had a pack rat of information of stuff in there. Unbelievable. And it's kind of a juxtaposition in our city because some of that is, on that side is LA County. So we have these little spots that are, also Bobby, he found it, took care of it. Come on, it's not over.
It's not all the way together, but we're working on it. My name is Officer Riley. I'm with Community Improvement, and I am in the 4th District. In the back, we have Officer Das. He's with Community Improvement. He's in the 1st District, right? So the reason I really wanted to come out is Community Improvement has been getting the bad rap lately. And inside Community Improvement, we have parking, and we also have city security. So we're proactive, and we're also reactive. So we're out in the community. And I noticed in the 4th District, we're getting a lot of calls regarding trash cans. Trash cans left out for parking. So I wanted to just kind of address that and also make some of these flyers along my card in the back, just so you guys know some of the common violations that we have. So along with the cones and the trash cans being left out, we have a lot of in-ops. So what we call in-ops or inoperable cars. So I think we're having a lot of problems with the parking because people have cars in their driveway that either they don't want to get rid of or they don't know how to get rid of them, but they're inoperable. So I just wanted to come out, and I'm going to be real brief. I just wanted to come out and give you guys these so you guys can look at some of the common violations. So pretty much that was it for me. I just wanted to come out for that and then also answer some questions that you guys might have. Yes, go ahead.
Question. Are you guys responsible for business owners and making sure that the walkways or storefronts are maintained, like power wash, you know, the section where you walk, cement section?
I can't say that we're definitely, that's part of our job, but I mean, if you have a problem like that, we can, if it's something that we can address, we will. We're more for like businesses that, like automotive businesses that might have store cars that have been in there, like they're storing cars, wrecked car stuff like that, or them working on cars outside the street.
Okay, so not the appearance of their businesses to make sure that they're presentable.
But not in terms of the sidewalk, and I'm making sure they clean the sidewalk. Now, just stuff that's out there, we will deal with.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you live in the city of Compton or shop in the city of Compton, but every store that I go to, whether it's Superior or whatever it is, now the Walmart, it used to look nice in the beginning, but it just looks like they never cleaned outside of the cement where you walk. It just looks so horrible, so unwelcoming, you know? And I just have to go to a city over and they're just so clean, and I'm just like, why do we settle for less? Why can we not have clean stores, you know? And I think a lot of it has to do with because a lot of people that represent us don't live in this city. So they don't have to live through what we have to live through. And I just feel that at some point we need to set up some policy that says if you're going to represent our city in any capacity, except for sheriffs, because I understand that they put their lives in danger. So I don't expect them to live here because trust me, they'll find out where they live and that's not good. But just everything, you know, everyone that represents us, our city manager couldn't even find a place in the city of Compton. He's not even here today. He had like a 100-day plan. And where are our Compton welcome signs? It's been over a year. It's been over a year.
Our next presenter will address all of those issues. So be a little more patient, but we have another presenter.
Well, you know, again, so if that's something that you work with on the businesses and making sure that they power wash their areas so that we can at least walk in clean sidewalks like other cities do, and if you're the gentleman that we need to speak with, I would love to talk to you more about it because it needs to be enforced. The last meeting that we had, the other gentleman, I believe was code enforcement, said that you guys are short-staffed. That was just, why a lot of things aren't being addressed, and that you were hiring. Well, I went to the Compton website. I went to the government website that's connected to the city of Compton. There was no job opening. So if you're short-staffed, then where are you hiring people from?
I'm in LA, but I enjoy working in Compton. I worked in Compton for 15 years, and I take pride in working in Compton. So if it's anything that we can address, it will be addressed. And I know the people that I work with, we diligently to get out here and do our job. So like I said, we're getting a bad rap on terms of stuff that we actually come out and we do. We're actually out in the community. So now, in terms of the businesses, they need to take pride in themselves.
Yeah, but somebody needs to enforce it. Find them. You know, if they're not keeping their properties clean, then give them a fine, just like you would give me a fine if I don't cut my grass.
Yeah.
You know.
and I think that was one of the things that were brought up. They said that we're doing selective enforcement.
Well, fine.
And
we're
we're enforcing across the board.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's something that we're lacking in.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know, I was saying, I'm listening to her, she's talking about, representative, but this would be a great opportunity to have the business managers or owners here to address that. Just to, put that on, why, if you ask me a question, why not ask the business owners, why aren't they out? Street cleaning their sidewalks and getting the trash out. But that's where the owners should be able to, owners and managers of the certain businesses like Walmart or H&M, even the liquor stores.
Yeah, most definitely. And let me say this too before I forget.
They don't.
In terms of the homeless, unhoused, we're out there, and we're out there every Wednesday, pretty much every day of the week we're out dealing with the unhoused. So it's not that it's going unaddressed. It is, we are addressing it. And also, in terms of services, they have plenty of services available, but a lot of the people, they don't want to see the services.
That's right.
We provide hospice numbers. We do it all the time. We've actually gotten the people on shiver into the hospice program.
Yeah,
but they're just creatures of habit. They come back out.
They want to be outside. They don't want to be inside.
But we're working diligently. Our office, we're working diligently along with public works to deal with the unhoused encampments. It was heard than you, sir. Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure, maybe someone else is going to speak on it also, but just to add to what you said, I actually go to the businesses and I go to the store owner and I ask them, number one, it's their responsibility that, you're in the city of Compton, you're providing a service. Why are you keeping your building this way? And they're like, they don't care. They don't care. So they don't care. They don't, as long as they get what they want at the end of the day, they're not emphasizing anything. I have been able to get the owner of the lots business and contact them. I have the one on the Laundra, the donut shop. I harassed her every day until they came in because they used to graffiti it every day. And I would call her over and over again until she did it. And the one by the freeway. But I also use the app. But the app, they'll say, oh, that has been done, and then nothing happens.
See, that's my point.
Those emails come directly to us. So depending on the district that we're in, and let me speak to graffiti too. A lot of these businesses, they get sprayed on a lot.
Yes.
So a lot of them have like a graffiti plan. So it might be for them to paint it once a month. They might paint it every 2 weeks. So they do have a graffiti plan. I'm not sure about the donut shop, but I know a lot of the businesses that I work with, they're on a plan where they paint it once a month, maybe at the beginning, maybe in the middle.
And just the plaza by the freeway to 710, the trash bin is over.
Horrible.
I call there the landscape, they don't cut it.
Yeah.
The businesses, I talk to them, it's over and over again, it looks horrible.
So
Because that's, you come off the freeway and you come into the city and that's the first message.
Yes.
And it looks horrible.
So like I said, I left my cards along with these flyers in the back. So anytime that you have any questions or any concerns, feel free to give us a message.
We'll call you.
We don't have like any street meetings or something?
I believe that what should be done is that the city have rules. Those rules should be passed out for
Enforced.
the business.
That's right.
Just like we give them to the residents.
Yes.
You got here. I have that. But, it should be passed down to the businesses. And then that way, if you go to their business and they are not doing it, you can find it.
That's right.
Okay.
It should be in their end so that they know.
And you know what, a lot of
You
these,
take care of it, I'll take care of it, I'll be,
a lot of these businesses don't know, or they claim they don't know, so there's a community board that's listed in my house, and I'm just like her, I don't call the city, I will call the manager, say, you need to cut your grass, and you need to clean the graffiti. Oh, I'm sorry, I was not aware, the grass, I thought it was the city. I said, no, I called the city, and they said it was your responsibility. I come home, clean, paint it. So, a lot of us, we complain, we don't take action, and I think that's a problem in the city. Call the neighbor, call the business, and this is your first warning, next time, I won't call the city to make a complaint towards your business. But I think people just want them to do everything.
Well, that's what we paid, our tax dollars paid so they can do that
Yeah,
job.
but we have to do our part as well.
Let me tell you this too. Like I said, we've been getting the bad rap over the last couple weeks, couple months, or whatever. But the community improvement. So I'm not saying there's nothing else. I'm speaking for community improvement. But we're out here and we're reactive and we're proactive. As soon as you guys call our office, we're dispersing. We're out there.
Okay.
And you guys should know, especially in this. I'm going to say all districts, but I know for sure if you call me, I'm out in District 4 as soon as you call me.
All right.
Last question.
So we have street teams, because I realize we call, you guys respond too.
Yes.
But there needs to be some other coverage in the city where people can identify problems and even report it to you outside of us.
Yeah, we do have awards like that. Yeah.
Because we can call only so much, but Compton, one of the biggest problems here, just one of many, is the city is just dirty all the time.
Yes.
We're talking about that strip mall going to the 17th Freeway in London. I passed there last night. It is horrendous. It's just trash everything. It stays like that on a regular basis. And even though as citizens we call about a lot of stuff, and then you guys respond about a lot of stuff don't happen. And like a lot of people are intimated. The owners of these businesses are not being responsible. If they were in other communities, they would not be allowed to operate this way. Like she was mentioning that Walmart. I came home recently and I'm looking at that Walmart, I'm sitting there at the light, and I'm like, this is just disgusting. How they put up those new fake plants, and now those are just, they fake and they move. Everything is just.
Let me stop you there. It's not always the businesses. It's the people in the community as well.
Yeah,
people have to be finished. I'll let you finish. The people in the community got to care about their community too. I live in LA. I live in the South. I've been in the house in South Central for forever, and my area is dirty. But it's not always the businesses. It's the people. We have to take pride in our own things.
Yeah, but if we are taking pride in our own things, a lot of us, there are people that come from outside of the community.
Most definitely.
Loitering here, fence.
And that's sad.
And beautiful landscape, and that whole fence is just tagged up.
Yeah.
And it's like, where is the accountability somewhere? I'm like, there needs to be a campaign and confidence. I come to these town hall meetings all the time and have the same conversation. There needs to be some type of accountability and some type of campaign. Don't dirty Compton, don't trash it. People are going by in their cars, throwing trash out their windows. They're just throwing trash out their windows and on our neighbors, on our streets, and we're getting out in front of our houses, picking up trash, and people didn't want their Starbucks, their Louis Burger stuff, and it's not there. So it's not that we're not doing anything. It's just that too much is happening.
Correct. But that's it.
Yeah, but it's
not
everybody.
So I have a note of everything that you guys have discussed that we can take care of, and I think the next person he will take care of the rest of it. Thank you guys.
Excuse me.
Next one.
Can you announce that, the new working hours?
Oh, sorry. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. So now we're going 7 days. And we'll be closing at 11, and we have different shifts, but it's pretty much going to be coverage from, I think we're open at 5 in the morning to 11 at night.
Wow.
And on the weekends, it's going to be from 7 in the morning to 11. So we are going 7 days a week. And like I said, we're adding more shifts. So I think we're working toward 24-hour coverage. So,
And new hires as well?
we have new hires and we have new hires in the pipeline. So we're hiring.
Just people like the driveway.
So we have people coming from, we're pretty much full in terms of code enforcement. We are hiring for security and parking. Yes, ma'am. One question.
Code enforcement, when they're driving around in the community and they see the trash and things, are they able to stop and address that, or they have to get a formal notice?
What we usually do is we usually call public works. We try to get public works out there, but I mean we're stressed in and we're working at it. And from what I can see, we're doing a good job at it. But like I said, we're out every Wednesday. As soon as we get to work, we're dealing with unhoused cabinets. We're dealing with a lot of junk trash and debris. But we also have our own districts. But we are addressing the problems. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. I mean, I can't speak to harassment, but in terms of neighborly disputes, if they're calling me the 409 and they're talking about 409 has this tree and I already talked to 409, I'm going to go out, but I'm going to be well aware of what's going on. And we don't get into neighborly disputes. That's not what we're into. And we know, I'm not going to call it harassment, but we know when somebody's just calling me. I can't call it harassment.
You have one individual calling another neighbor constantly over and over, and yet you guys respond to it. And I say, oh, we're well aware of the problem, but it seems to me that you're only concerned about this neighbor that's calling, and not the individual that is calling on. And if you are, then you're going to set some type of restraints, or you have X amount of time to do this or that. But you know it's the same individual. I would think as a red flag. Hey, Mr. Johnson, why are you calling on this guy? You're going to be calling us several times over 30 years, and you still call us, and yes, you guys still show up. And you don't go talk to Mr. Johnson, you got to talk to the guy you're complaining to.
And then a lot of our complaints are anonymous. So,
Nah.
a lot of our complaints are anonymous.
So,
I can talk to you afterwards. Step down. Yeah, go. I want to say that you responded quite well to. I'm not sure on speed now, but I've called and complained about certain things in my little community, and the response has been great. The trailers have been parked out on one street, and blocking the trash gone. People leave the trash cans out there in the driveways on the streets, removed in the back of their fences. So the streets have been clean. So I just want to say, make a complaint. I want to commend you for your response and your effort. Thank you.
okay, I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Thanks, man.
Those are tough issues, and we are addressing them. Of course, they're going to get better. I know what Mr. Robinson is saying. We didn't call on the neighbor, we called on the infraction. There were trash cans being left out. We called on the infraction. And that's what we have to remind ourselves. Now, there is a municipal code. You can go to the website and you'll be shocked to see how many things there are on that municipal code. So you go to the city website, ComptonCity.org. You go to the departments and you'll see the city clerk. So when you see the city clerk's webpage, you'll see municipal code. You click on that, and then you can see all the typical violations from painting your fence, your grass, I heard the medians, the parkways, anything you want to know about. And this is the code that you can cite. And then when you speak to community improvement, they'll be able to respond to you better. All right, Richard, I'm concerned as a citizen of all. All right, now some of those same questions that we had for community improvement, now you can also develop some of those same questions and the responses will come out because this department works closer with the businesses. And this is community development. And we have a sharp director who knows how to deal with it. And I want to present now Cecil Flournoy.
Thank you, Dean, and good morning again, everyone. Dean is exactly correct, so I want to just jump right in. I'm definitely going to make sure they're responsive to complaints. So, man, please let me know the location of the business, your name, and we'll be accountable in terms of being responsive to the tracking and how we're pursuing remediating the issue.
I don't want it to sound,
No.
but it's every business. It's every business.
I'll be the
In
first
the
to
city
admit.
of Compton.
First to admit, I didn't come to Compton because there was no work to do. Again, I didn't come to work in Compton because there's nothing to fix, nothing to do. I came for the exact opposite reason. Family from here, grew up around here as well. Our university lived in Leewood now. I started my career actually in the unincorporated area surrounding Compton, Louisville, and Experience Dominguez, so it's near and dear to my heart. And so seeing the city and disrepair and the state that's in now was something that I knew I could make a difference in terms of changing. That's Mr. Earl, that's Mr. Earl. And so that's why I'm here. So at the end of the day, again, we have a long way to go, right? And a short time to get there. I understand what I call frustration in terms of climate in the city, as well as the necessary intensities as we need to be more responsive and do things on fast track. But I won't bog you down with telling you about the challenges we have, but I will be clear and transparent as it relates to just telling you where we are and the timing as it relates to sauce. So the community development department is comprised of 4 divisions. One is the Compton Housing Authority. The second is the Economic Development Division. The third is Planning Division, and then the last is Assessor Agency. So the last 3 overlap, actually all overlap on some level or another, right? So as it relates to the economic development side, business attraction, business retention, business expansion, that's our focus. Short and sweet. We are actually undergoing an economic development strategy. So whether it's on the federal level, state level, or county level, there's a document that's typically in place. It's called a comprehensive economic development strategy. What that does is it identifies your strengths, your weaknesses, and essentially your footprint as to what you have to offer the business community nationally, internationally, and locally. So our document will be in place for about 4 years. We've had one kickoff summer. We'll have another one on June 4th. We want all to get here. Okay. The next summit is June 4th, 9 a.m., Dollar High. You will also get some information as it relates to branding. So the branding ties in with the economic development strategy from the standpoint. So what are we proposing that folks should come to Compton and do, right? We have a number of Fortune 500 companies. We have a huge industrial footprint along primarily Artesia, but also along Artesia, that little node of the city, but also along Santa Fe, Alameda, and a couple other corridors. But at the end of the day, that creates jobs. It houses jobs. So what we want to do is be able to do a couple of things. One, make sure that we're getting our fair share as it relates to the tax base these businesses typically generate. And then also to make sure that our youth and our population that lives in the city has the opportunity to get these jobs. That most of them are high paying. So definitely focused on that as well. We also are undergoing a branding campaign right now. So you're going to get some marketing materials request to participate in the survey. We will have a paper survey. So for folks that are not comfortable with QR codes, just a little square box, just a little uncomfortable. I don't know how you can't stand it. But we'll also have a paper document as well. But we need your feedback. We really want to put that picture out there. We need your response. We need feedback from you guys about businesses that are not being responsible and treating the city like trash. I've heard a lot about that shopping center that's actually on the border of the county with the big donut shop at the end of it. And so we do have some efforts underway under the leadership of Councilman Gardner as well as the mayor. And so we're dealing with a nuisance property initiative. We're primarily dealing with the situation on Long Beach Boulevard first. Secondarily to that, which Officer Wadley and Officer Dawson mentioned, is that we're also going to have a citywide camera system. And so we will have the license plate recognition systems in place. I can't remember the number, so forgive me for that, but that's allowed, and it's going to make a difference when people's license plates are being recorded with real time. And so that ties into what he was talking about, the 7-day shift. It also ties in law enforcement, as well. And so that's a huge effort. It's an undertaking. It's arguably expensive. I'm just going to tell you straight up about that. But it's important for us to move to where we want to go. I live in Inglewood. Before they added, Inglewood looked just like Compton right now. Okay? I did work for Inglewood for a period of time too. So I'm saying that even though we're not there now, we're going to get there. And it's very uncomfortable. Both of you guys, but also for us that are standing before you as representatives, supposed to be doing the job for you, right? So it's uncomfortable for us. We have a sense of urgency to kind of get things changed, but just want to give you those two tidbits as it relates to the progress that's being made. In terms of collectively, right? So collectively, so when I say collectively, we as a city team and family work together. So it's not just community improvement on the enforcement side. It's not just public works. Point Mr. Harris over, he's out of Councilman Gardner, and it's not being development over. Collectively, we have a role of responsibility, and I know between our three departments, my respective directors and superintendents will be responsible. I know that part, okay? So, we're not just giving cards out, just to give them out, giving them out, be accountable to you, you deserve, all right? So, with that, I will shut up for a minute and listen to some of your questions. I'm really more concerned about that. And then really quick, I'll give some tips about I told you about the branding effort, I told you about the economic development strategy effort. We also have 2 projects in near completion. One of them is 100% focused for transitional age youth. That's at 1434 West Compton Boulevard. So there's going to be 74 units of, again, it's permanent supported housing. So the mayor spoke a little bit about what we're doing to address our homelessness. Unfortunately, we don't do the engagement piece. You know, I said we don't do the engagement piece. So it creates a lag. We report it. It's a Los Angeles Homeless Services Agency. So you know now there's a county version of that same thing because Los wasn't getting it done. It was some money that gets spent where it's supposed to get spent. I'll just straight up with that. So we know there's a gap. Optics is our trusted partner, and they have set up shop on Victoria, as the mayor alluded to or spoke to. And so at the end of the day, we're aware of it. We're not okay with it, and we're trying to get it fixed. But a big piece of that is we have to have bids, right? So Optics is our engagement team. We have somewhere in the neighborhood of 240 beds available in the city county. Some of you might be familiar with the old Willow Tree Inn off of Central and Artesia, next to Starbucks and Carl Jr. There's 215 beds right there at this high. And the mayor talked about 3 other sites. Most recent completed one is Upstate Heights. So that's 39 beds again. Again, we're not trying to create a venue or a destination for the homeless population, so they just come to Compton when they're homeless. But we are absolutely trying to be responsible for our population. So we're not bringing people from up there. We're trying to make sure the folks that are struggling to find a place to live and get off the streets in the city of Compton have some place to go and our resources are available. We'll see, sir. So and then lastly, we have 60 units that's near completion between the White. What's actually on the White and Compton Boulevard? It's 930 West Compton Boulevard. Market rate condos. Of those, 10 of them are made for with lottery income. So again, we're trying to make sure that as we age into different categories of life, that folks have opportunity and stay in Compton. It's our intention through multiple efforts, which include the economic development strategy, and also I'll be remiss without mentioning our general plan update, which is in the final stages. These are all the tools that we need to have in place in order to, one, track the type of businesses you want to see in Compton, but also to kind of call out regulations as it relates to land use to make sure that we have what we have on our major thoroughfares and corridors. Lastly, I'll be remiss if I say this as well. We're working on Crystal Park Casino whole little arms length, right? So we have been in very serious meetings with Metro Councilman Garden. Indeed pointed out about a year ago at this point that there had been a survey that was sent to the community regarding a housing project. You know, I got some pretty hot water because they thought I was out here running rogue and doing my own thing, but that wasn't the case. So the way Metro from the planning and development side works is that they survey the community to see if there's an appetite for that type of development. But the intention is the backside or front side of 24-hour fitness with the backside of the hotel. Metro owns about 5 acres over there. So what they're looking at is demolishing that station and repositioning it. It happens to be one of the most used stations in their entire system, honestly. And so what we're trying to do is, one, tie in the community college, also bring the hotel back to life, and also create a large, comprehensive lifestyle type development that has area you can walk your dog and all that kind of stuff. So that's in the works. Full disclosure, probably going to take about 7 years to get there. Okay? But you will hear more information on that as we move forward. I see both our chamber folks here, so Compton Entertainment Chamber, Latino Chamber of Commerce, Compton Latino Chamber of Commerce. We need everybody. We can't do it by ourselves. It's not a product that comes from me or me and my staff. It has to be something that we all have some buy-in, we all have some input. You know what you're experiencing every day. I'm here probably 50 hours a week, but you're here 24/7, right? So I certainly respect that and defer to that. So with that, I'll open up to questions. If I'm leaving out anything, you have any questions, feel free to ask.
You know I got a question.
I'm sorry, I think first.
Okay, go ahead.
Just a question. You mentioned a number of spaces that are available for the homeless. My concern is, with that amount of number of spaces in Compton, we should have no unhoused people here at all. My concern is how do people get into those places? Certainly, it isn't just Compton residents. So, if you have 200 and some odd slots in the city of Compton, no one should be unhoused in Compton. But I don't know what the rules are, the regulations, how people get into those spaces.
The rules aren't hard and fast. They're not as hard as you might think. The biggest distinction I've heard with the homeless community since 2015, and it's the most unrewarding job I've ever worked on in my life, and it's hard to see your efforts being, you can't even tell you making a difference, honestly. So I'll say that to say that more times than not, we will engage them, we will provide the resources, and as the lady said here earlier today, they just want to be outside. Sometimes you have former military, they're trained to live outside in a box. So they already have.
So are you saying a place like Willow Tree is completely built?
No, I'm not saying anyone would feel at all. But what I will say in terms of the way the services delivered, so under the housing where we have had emergency housing vouchers, they're specifically to people off the streets. Primary focus is women and children first, right? Even in that instance, we don't do the underwriting or eligibility. It's done by the county and house. So we'll get named referred to us, and then we just issue the voucher. So it's a slightly different process, but to the extent that you're not already in the system, you're not a frequent flyer, say like that. Just kind of sponge on the system. It's not hard to get off the street. You have to be diligent. Yes, ma'am. I got you.
My question is, okay, so how do you go about really want to train us around how do you how would you get in contact with those agencies in the office?
Okay. 211. There's a general homes number, but you can actually call City Hall 310-605-5500, and we'll make sure you get contacted. You get contacted. Mr. Williams?
Yes, the plan for the
area behind the hotel, the long-term plan, that sounds fantastic. My question is, do you have anything short-term that area could be utilized during the Olympics? I mean, we have some ideas that we'd like to share with the city in regards to that area, and it's something that we like to. If it's temporary, that's fine. But again, that area right there is depending on which direction you're coming, it's the first thing you see coming into Compton, or the last thing you see leaving Compton, and it does not represent Compton the way it should. So, especially during the Olympics, a lot of people coming up and down that train track, going to Long Beach and LA, and I would love to see something there that's going to be a little bit more aesthetic and pleasing to the eye coming in and out of Compton. So, we really have to have a conversation.
Let's have that conversation. And I do appreciate you saying that, and I agree with you 100%. We just set up, we recently, I think we're fully staffed up with our Olympic and Tourism Committee. And so we are eagerly seeking insight from them, as well as seeking some information that should come out that economic development strategy to kind of tell us how to position that side. But notwithstanding the private side, right?
Understand.
We were poised to do some stuff to make sure we are well positioned for the Olympics, so we don't get crazy out here in the tech world, right? But notwithstanding that, I talked to you a little bit about the cameras and license plate recognition system and all that stuff, which also tied to that. So once we get off Long Beach and we tighten up Long Beach, then we're gonna start going into some of those properties we're talking about. Where folks aren't maintaining their properties, or weeds and vegetation up and on, and I think, well, I know from my perspective, top priority for me is to make sure that hotel owner, who happens to be a foreign owner, so he doesn't live in a nice situation.
Okay, they still at Compton.
I understand, yes, sir, Mr. Earl, got you. So at the end of the day, we're gonna hold them accountable to the legal mechanisms we have, that was a true story.
Everything along the track should
Yeah.
be.
I got you, Mr. Earl, I got you.
Speaking of homeless,
Yes,
we
ma'am.
have a major issue on Long Beach, on Londra Boulevard and Caress.
Okay.
I understand this county, there's a dispute there between Compton and the city of LA County. Are you familiar with that situation? And I wanna know what the update is. I know residents are complaining, the neighborhood is complaining. I talked to our council people, District 4, about it. It's a family encampment, and it's very ugly.
Okay.
It's embarrassing.
So, to answer your question, no, I wasn't aware of it, but I'll make sure it gets to the appropriate parties and make sure they correct it.
You can't miss it.
So
Alondra and
I
Caress,
got Alondra Caress on the phone.
yes, right on the
Okay,
corner. You
okay.
can't miss it. You cannot miss it. 2 blocks from Kelly Elementary School.
Right the street then.
Yeah, very close.
Mr. Earl, I'll get on.
Please, immediately.
Yes, ma'am.
With the Olympics coming, and we already know it, we have time to get those businesses that are shown along the tracks to clean up their
Yeah.
acts, so that when that train comes through, people will be invited to come and not just see trash and stuff and keep on going. Because Long Beach and all those people are already ready for the Olympics. We're the ones that are behind.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. So just so we're having the same conversation.
Everything along the track.
Mr. Earl, you're talking about along Metro Rail.
Yeah.
Yes.
On the Metro Rail, people should be cleaning that up. We got a year or so to go, and they got time to start now, clean it up. That way people come in, they don't look at Compton as being down, they can look at it as being up.
We are up, we have to be, we have to believe it, and act on it, and do it.
Cecil, 2 more questions.
Yes, sir.
Just if I could, just because we're skating around the real issue. The real issue is that the metro is not open at the casino level.
That's right.
So let's talk about the real issue, and that is getting that
don't disagree with you at all. It's the issue with getting up and down the hill and all that other stuff. It's annoying and unnecessary. It's getting to fast lane.
So, going back to some of the other issues I talked about, does Compton ever have a plan to have a public campaign to address some of these issues with the lack of cleanliness going on?
Yes.
Okay. We have all those billboards.
I got you.
Like on freeways.
So this is to your point. It's part of the branding effort. So feedback in the branding effort, we need a clean campaign too. Councilman Bedard has been adamant about us having some banners or something that kind of creates messaging, right? And shifts our mindset to reposition us as a city. I remember when Paramount didn't look like Paramount looks right now. It's much smaller than Compton, much younger than Compton. So trust and believe, I absolutely am on the gas pedal to make sure everything is at my desk is going to move in that direction. Yes, ma'am, I saw you. Okay. Yes.
Okay. So I think it's great that you guys have multiple areas to help the homeless people on that. Those are government funded locations. So basically it's us as taxpayers paying for that. And I would like to know, you mentioned that part of your department is bringing in business.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the 99-cent store has been closed for I don't know how long it's been now. And I know that Ms. Lily had mentioned that there was going to be another supermarket.
Right out the market.
Yeah. So who got to, do us as residents, do we get to pick like those big businesses, what it's going to be? And the only reason why I mentioned that is that, we have a Northgate, we have a Superior, and those are really kind of like how the Latino community, and I'm a Latino myself, but it would have been nice to have like a Sprouts or a Trader Joe's or a Vons, something that is different than what we have. And my thing is that who gets to pick all of this? Because I think that would have been good.
So the first part of your question was, do we get to pick in that? Short answer, no. But the long term, all these documents that I just told you about is to position us to be able to attract those kind of national retailers. We don't own Sprouts. I used to work in concert for 10 years, and Carson just got a Sprouts. I told you other things, but they just got a Sprouts. But it was a long strategy to get to the point where they felt comfortable investing.
And those cities are cleaner than ours, and that's why it attracts.
A little bit, well, Carson for sure.
They're better than us. See, that's the whole
They're not
point.
better than us at all. They're just at a different stage.
By us not keeping up our city, we don't attract those types of businesses, so they go to other cities. And then we're the ones that have to suffer and have to drive out of our way to be able to shop in those places.
Well, I'm getting to the that time, but I'm happy to talk more details about this. But we market the city's properties on an annual basis to attract those type of businesses, and that's actually the goal. So all the stuff I just told you we're spending money on Amazon is not just to do it, it's to make sure that we have that opportunity to attract the Trader Joe's, to attract the Sprouts.
This would have been so much nicer.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Okay.
Let's give a round of applause.
So that I don't forget to address this, I want everyone here in the entire city to come to realize that I am not pleased with the condition and the cleanliness of our city. So I want that known to everybody. I have been working hard. I asked for a vacuum truck to be put in the budget for 24, 25, and 25, 26 years. We don't have it. Because when I drive down Gateway Town Center and I look over there next to the track, all this is trash and it's just unbelievable. Even the Canadians. So I've been preaching and working hard. In December 24, I done a PowerPoint presentation with showing all these things because I have been trying to get banners in our city. I welcome to come to Science City. I still have that document. So I've been working hard. And it just makes me angry that we can't get these small things done. And this city is just, we don't have to be filthy. We can be clean. But the backup truck would eliminate a lot of it. So I just have to say that now, because I'm angry about the way our city looks.
That's a sermon.
Take a ticket to church.
That's a sermon for the day. I got you.
I love businesses. I'm a pro-business person. And one of the things that we have to remind ourselves, dollars attract businesses.
That's right.
We have to practice spending our dollars in the city. Even though I don't live in the city, I bought my first car in the city, my first wife. But she's still my wife. Right? My first wife, everything. I've done everything since '68 in the city of Compton. All the refreshments are Compton refreshments. So I went into Aldi's, and I could probably ask for a show of hands. How many people shop at Aldi's? Not bad, not bad. Now, how many know Aldi's and Trader Joe's are the same company? One hand. The reason why I bring that up, you've got to talk to your grocer and say, I want this.
Yeah.
Trader Joe's and Aldi's, you know what the big difference is? Trader Joe's is a better liquor store. It's fancy. It's got the big fits and everything. Same owner. They were brothers that started. They were separate when they started. But Trader Joe brother passed away. So the same German owns both stores. And you can go into your Aldi's, and if you say, well, I see something at Trader Joe's I like, they'll carry it. And they'll probably carry it for a cheaper price. The Aldi's here, some of the best produce you can get. Some of the pears and stuff are very fresh. Now, I went into that Aldi's, about 4 months ago, and I talked to the manager. I said, basically, look at all this trash up here with baskets on. It's filthy. And he looked at me like, wow, no one has ever told me this before. Next day, spotless. Next day, spotless. Only because somebody brought it to his attention. And if we don't care, the store owners don't care. We have to be careful. Private ownership for entrepreneurs is not the same as it used to be 50 years ago. Because each business used to be individually owned. We're living in a franchise world. These employees are transient workers for the most part. So you're not going to get to the people until you start to speak up. And then spend with your dollars. Say, I'm not driving to Lakewood to get this. Ask those people to carry it. And eventually it will happen. Yes, Bruce?
Just to follow, there is a formula. I think you should know that formula as to how businesses come to come. It is the formula deals with percentages of
income. Yeah.
Income. The income level has to be X amount of dollars before a company will come in. So that's a big part of attracting company in. If there is a formula that's happening. Right. So if we don't have that, now we can buck up against the formula and say, well, we don't have a median income of $70,000 a year, but we do have one at $50,000. So we can negotiate with businesses in that aspect, but there is a formula.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, with that, talking about conscientiousness, we got a superintendent over streets, public works streets, very responsive, very conscientious, and he's a long-time employee and Compton resident. Let's bring to the podium Mr. Marcus Harris.
All right, thank you everyone. Marcus Harris, Superintendent of Compton Street Maintenance Division. So a lot of things you guys may be speaking of, although the City of Compton, we are a team, every department joins and hands to try to make Compton a better city. This department is the department that cleans the city meetings, right? We take care of graffiti, curb painting, lane striping, signs, illegal dumping again. We also clean up the homeless areas, tree trimming, park maintenance, pocket parks, and street sweeping. Okay? So, first I want to just give you guys a little bit of our accomplishments that we made this year. I've been here since 1982. After that. Okay? First off, trees, we trimmed over 2,000 trees, with a quarter of that, of course, being in District 4. We had 0 sewer spills last year. Before, we used to get sewer spills, at least 4 a year, right? So now we're down to 0. Solar lighting. We just installed solar lighting over at the Old McDonald Park,
And now we're also doing it behind Family Fitness, 24-hour fitness center. Trash, remove 7,000 cubic yards. The Wilson County is by dump trucks, right? So the guys, they pick up between 5 to 7 dump truck full, right, of trash each day. The street takeovers. So we have completed 13 intersections with those extended meetings, right? Those of us who live here, we know that now those street takeovers are coming inside our neighborhood, right? So now we're planning to start putting in roundabouts, right? So that's how we're going to deal with that. When I came aboard as the street superintendent, I already knew some of our issues. One of our issues was professional development. We had a big layoff in 2011. That's when all of our professional development ceased. Right? So this year, we have created in-house training, and we also sent staff to Anaheim for the Landscape Expo. Right? So we have about 40 employees. It cost us about $1,500 for everybody to go to the Landscape Expo, get trained, and also look at all the vendors and start seeing exactly what type of apparatus or equipment we need to take care of you guys' parks and streets. We have hired 8 people so far in public works and about 4 in parks. With the city manager and all of our council people and the mayor, we also developed a clean team. We hired 10 youth, right? That's 18 to 24 years old. We're going to continue hiring youth, right? Because those are the folks that's going to help us. Right now, you have I'm 49, right? And I'm one of the youngest people that works for your public works department, right? So I need those 18 to 24s, 28s to come in and help us. So we're going forward. When I got this position, I said, we need to do stuff different. One thing is create contracts with big corporations, right? Service contracts, that is. So right now we have a contract with Caterpillar. Caterpillar makes the big machinery, right? So now I don't have to get quotes every single year, right, and try to grab funds. The funding will be there for 5 years now, right? Hager takes care of most of all Southern California sewer trucks. So we have a service contract with Hager, 5 years. I don't have to go back to city council and try to grab the money's there. As for the parks and recreation, they have a gopher problem. Guess what? We created an RFP, so an RFP should be delivered pretty soon so contractors can turn in proposals and we can have a contractor for 3 years for gopher, right? We spent about $100,000 this year for gopher eradication. We have the same vendor that the school district has. Gophers is a big problem when we're trying to bring in cricket, baseball, softball, all these outdoor programs. Gophers are a problem. Even on the medians, gophers are a problem. We also created an RFP for sidewalk repair, which you guys will start seeing that. We have a liability issue here, right, that we have to take care of. And then the street name signs are coming to, right? We already, but that RFP, waiting for that to go out. So we can, actually, the street name signs has already been approved, I believe, by city council.
We bought those signs twice. I don't know what it is.
Street name signs?
Yes, street name signs.
I don't know.
The last thing was $400,000 on street signs. None of them were incorrect.
Okay, well, for me, I just speak for myself. For myself, in 2008, I took over the traffic signs and street markings division. I was in there for about 3 years. I developed a plan. I have my certifications, and during that time, the division wasn't doing what they supposed to have done. Right. Once I came in, we installed signs throughout the city, and I had to go back to my manager and ask for another 70,000 because we completed all of our stock. In 2013, 14, somehow, some way, Edison came in and renovated their streetlight poles, right? And then all our signs disappeared. Most of our signs were on those streetlight poles. As for us spending money in prior years, 2016, 17, 18, 19, I'm not sure about that, but things are going to get done now. And actually, the RFP is completed. It should be at your desk. Okay. So it has not been approved yet. Before I go to some of you guys' other concerns, as I took notes, I would like to start off with what we're going to do for the next fiscal year, or what are our priorities for next fiscal year. So we can increase service, and we can give out information to our stakeholders. We have developed a residential relations office for any time you guys have any comments, concerns, put in the work order if you want to visit City Hall, right? The security will direct you to the Public Works Relations Center, and we can take your comment or concern there. So beautification, priorities, street name signs, and wayfinder signs. I remember we had wayfinder signs where you'll know where Compton College is at. You'll know where the post office is at. You'll know where City Hall is at. So we're going to reinstall wayfinder signs. We're going to install the street name signs. Median improvement. The reason why our medians look so bad, we have thieves in the city, and our medians right now do not have any water. Every time we reinstall a backflow, it's taken. You set a cage over it, the same cage that's in Lakewood, it's the same cage that's in Gardena. In Compton, they break it, and they remove it, and they take it. A lot of people are dealing with backflow device theft. Backflow devices are metals. We have a problem with people stealing manhole covers, right? We have issues here with that. The Olympic rings, we're going to get that together next year. Infrastructure priorities, street paving and slurry sealing. After we repave a street, we have 3 chances to do a slurry seal, and that's every 7 years. That equals 21 years. A slurry seal is about $1.12 now. A grind and pave is $5, and full reconstruction is $15. Since we are in the maintenance division, my priority is to start re-slurrying these streets. That would save us a lot of money down the road. Preemption, emergency and preemption for our deputies and for the fire department. Emergency preemption is when they're coming to emergency and they have to go through all these red lights and people are not stopping, people are still trying to cross because they still have a green light. Emergency preemption will turn their red light green and turn everybody else light red, right? So they won't get that cross traffic. So we're going to work on emergency preemption. We have the bus stop renovation coming. We also have the yellow reflector around the backplate. So if you guys look at Wilmington Avenue, half of Wilmington has the backplate, the yellow reflectors around the traffic signal. So we have those coming. One of my biggest priorities is crosswalks, right, and safe school routes. We can get these crosswalks, the in-ground lights. We found a company that did our first one. They're still in business. They are top of the echelon when it comes to crosswalk safety. We in talks with them. They already gave me a couple of quotes for different avenues we can take to install crosswalks. So we're going to go that route also. The next thing I want to do is reduce liability. So we have to work on pothole eradication. Pothole eradication cannot come from us installing billions and millions of dollars to just fill in holes, right, and have rocks out there, right? So I'm supposed to have 2 more guys start Monday. I chose another supervisor to take my place. The supervisor is up the bar, and he's going to start the eradication. So we have equipment in our yard that can assist us in grinding out potholes and putting it back in pockets. So that's what we're going to do. Sidewalk repair, that's the big liability. Public Works Engineering has started that. If you look around the city, you will see the sidewalk kind of shaved down in some areas. Well, we can start replacing sidewalks. So we're going to start doing that. Most likely we're going to contract some of that out. Storm drains and sewer repair. We have a couple of issues where we have steel plates that's been sitting around for about 5 years. Some been sitting around for 10 years on the street. Y'all talk about Greenleaf, Long Beach. You trying to cross, you guys keep crossing over this steel plate that's in the street, and it never gets removed, and nothing never gets fixed, right? And that's been there maybe 15 years. So next year it'll be gone. We're going to fix that. Other than that, I would like to address some of the issues. So the homeless, monitor, and corrects. Yes, we have the county and we have the county side. My staff will be directed to clean anything on county side. As for the public works, we cannot remove homeless. It has to be made safe for us to remove all items, right? The Gateway Town Center, right? Trash. A lot of our trash along Alameda comes from, we all know where it comes from. I don't want to put nobody out there, but it blows over into the city area, right? And you see trash along Alameda, and we have some businesses, right? And the trash should stay in their area. They should have trash cans, those type of things. And Ms. Darden, city manager, made it very clear that we need a trash pickup machine or vacuum, so that's on the way. Also, the city of LA has a small rear load trash truck, right? Looks like it's going to maybe a small F-250, F-150, right? So we want to purchase one of those next year. Also, Walmart. I hear about the frontage, right? We have the fake tree, right? The back of it, some of it's LA County. Some of you Willis and Orchard, some of that's LA County. And at nighttime, the vendors come. So now we have to come and vacuum up water and grease. So if you look on the backside, everywhere in the city where there's I'll say everywhere in LA County, around Compton, where there's a vendor, you'll see a dark area. That comes from grease, food, right?
Food trucks.
Food trucks. Well, you know, but that's in LA County, right? So right here on Atlantic, that's LA County,
So bad.
right? And we're so adjacent, right? So close to different areas. They say, come to Compton. And then when they go, they have fun, but then the mess, right? And we get blamed for the mess. Graffiti. Graffiti is a big issue. Right now, we spend about $100,000 just on paint per year. Okay? We have 2 graffiti people that's doing a great job. They have a dangerous job. And it's graffiti everywhere. Right? We talk about buildings, businesses. What about the curb? You see graffiti on the curb. On the curb, on the lighting box. There's graffiti in every little place, right? Throughout this city. So we have to do something to curb the graffiti. Yes, and that has already been given to the proper authorities. The city, we cannot go and repaint that wall. That wall would be horrendous after we paint that brand new wall, right?
Why can't you paint?
It'll look horrendous. We're gonna paint the entire wall. What color are we gonna use? Is it gonna look like? Is it gonna look like brick and paint? Is it gonna? You know what I'm saying, right? So, well, then how much time it's going to take us to power wash? So that's why we get to the proper authorities. They give it to the building owner. The building owner should be taking care of it pretty soon. Trash cans. We have businesses, people that party, dumping in city trash cans. Sometimes when you go to these trash cans, we find dead animals. I used to be on the trash, the bus stop trash crew. We have dead animals, we have cans of food, we have all type of items in these trash cans. We just installed 20 trash cans. Some of the locks broke because I don't want to put all the homeless, but the homeless love trash bags. And they try to remove those trash bags. Okay? Our people in the city need to stop dumping into those trash cans. Right? When it comes to services, we have an app that everyone can download. I talked to the software provider. So now all of the lead men and our supervisor have access to the app. For a long time, there was a disconnect where some people had access to the app so they can retrieve your work orders, and some people did not. So 2 weeks from now, we're going to have a training with Tyler Technologies at My Civic, and we're going to have people trained so they can answer the call and retrieve that work order. Attracting businesses. Attracting businesses is not just on community development, it's not on code enforcement, it's not on parks, it's also on public works street maintenance. If we don't have a clean city, if we don't have great medians, if we don't have traffic signals that work properly, businesses aren't coming. That's right. Right? So it's my priority to get all those things done before the Olympics and continue after. I don't want to make this just an Olympic thing, Olympic, but what happens afterwards, right? So, as for the community, we have to make 6 months, year, 2 year, 3 year, 5 year, 10 year plans. For the businesses, a lot of people don't know that, just like Mr. Cecil mentioned, that I'll say Dean mentioned, right? He mentioned Audi, Audi and Trader Joe's the same, right? I remember when we had fresh meat. Right? Yeah. Fresh meat is good to me, right? I used to go there and hey, we're gonna make some pieces tonight. Grab that fresh piece of dough, grab all the products, we good. But fresh meat he left. But they remove themselves from everywhere. What we don't know is that a lot of our businesses that we have, they make great products, and I'm speaking about the manufacturers. We have a business here that actually makes skunks and lights for Lamp Plus, right? Now, Plus is only in the upper echelon places, right? We used to have Dr. Squash. Dr. Squash was a $1 million company that made soap for me, right? So we have a lot of manufacturing business here that we need to bring into play, right? Bring them in where they can help the community and also about fixing up the community, right? So one of my objectives is to go out and try to induce those companies to come out on an Earth Day or come out on a cleanup day, right? And that way they can give the community information, and maybe they might be overstocked with some things they can give out, right? But between the city, our stakeholders as residents, and our businesses, we all need to come together, and that's what we're trying to do in Public Works. So, any questions, comments, concerns? Let's start with this young lady here.
You talked about street sign replacement. I don't know what the issues were in the past, but do we distinguish between north and south addresses? I have a home that I constantly get mail from north side and vice versa. So is that going to be cleared on the street sign?
And for me,
for our mail people?
Yes. Well, the street name signs is going to be for us. If the mail people make a mistake, they make a mistake. But, so for me with the street name signs, I'm starting in the middle of the city, straight down Compton Boulevard. Compton Boulevard is 100 block north and 100 block south. That's it. Let's just count the blocks and just keep going, right? So that's simple for us.
The light at Greenleaf and Santa Fe. When the traffic, when they close down the 91 up there, like right now, a lot of the trucks start coming down, coming through the city. Okay, so when they go through, they turn left on Greenleaf. That light needs to be shorter so that those people can get through there. It needs to be shorter because it's a backup. Yeah, it's a backup. Right there, and it's always a wreck or something. So we need to do something about right in there. Okay. And also if you're headed east at Greenleaf and Santa Fe, the turn left, it don't work.
Greenleaf and Santa Fe?
Greenleaf and Santa Fe. If I go out there,
there's no
car. If there's no car going straight north, east, west. I'm sorry, west. There's no car going west. That turn light won't work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I hear what you're saying there.
You'll be sitting right there for a while.
Okay, Mr. Williams.
Yes. Back in the day when I was a youngster, which was a long time ago, they had a program called the Feeder Program.
Okay.
The kids were able to go to work in different businesses during the summertime with hopes of getting a job later on. I got a job for Caltrans doing that. Here in Compton, they have AJCC. They have a similar program where youngsters 18 to 24, they will actually pay the city, they will pay their salary while they train in hopes of getting them a job. Plus they have monthly job fairs at AJCC, which is right there at 2909 Pacific Commerce Drive, and they're always looking to hire people. So that may be a good source of employment for the city of Compton, because they're looking to hire people on a regular basis.
I appreciate that, sir. You need the help. Yes, ma'am.
Just a couple things. I know you keep talking about Olympics, but FIFA is coming in June, and that's a big thing.
Wait, say that one more time.
FIFA, the World Cup.
Okay.
It's coming in June. It's going to be at SoFi, and there's also going to be some things in the Dignity Health Arena, which is 8 minutes from Compton. So I think that we need to take in consideration of that. If you're trying to bring in profit to Compton, that is the time, and to make sure that everything's ready for people to stay at the Crystal Casino, whatever, you know, all those things. You guys, it's June. It's June to July. It's a whole month.
Okay.
And it's 8 games. I just want to throw that out. The second thing I want to throw out is over on Santa Fe and Carter Lane area where the riverbed is. I know everyone keeps saying it's the county. At some point, when is this? The riverbed is the county.
Oh, the riverbed is county. Yes.
At some point, when is it that Compton is going to take some kind of initiative to pressure the county to get it taken care of? Because I'm right next to it, and I've had break-ins. My neighbors have had break-ins. We just had a break-in. I don't know. My neighbor had a break-in about a week ago, and they stole their trailer off the lot. It's just nonstop, and I keep telling people this. There's been sexual assaults. There's been all kinds of things, and I keep saying that the riverbed needs to be monitored. Somebody lit a fire about a week and a half ago, and it's like, and they dump a lot. You're talking about dumping. People take, you know, they defecate, and the napkins blow into my yard, and people want perfection for a lot of things over there, like the fencing, but how, when they're constantly cutting my fence, they're breaking into my lot, and my neighbor's lot, and I've also addressed this to my other neighbors as well, and they're also having a problem with this. My neighbor did get his trailer back. He found it over on the 405 and 91, and it was trashed, but it's just like calling the police. They don't always listen. They don't care. I've had people tell me they didn't believe because I was black. I mean, it's just a nonstop thing. My family has had history here. My family's the Sykes. I'm just saying that because we have a love for Compton, and I think also another issue is crime. That's why our house property taxes are high, and insurance. That's why our car insurance is higher than everybody else. If you start taking initiative on the crime, maybe Compton should charge within the city limits, if people like drones, and if you do face recognition when they do street takeovers, charge each person $1,000 or $3,000 that's there. And if it's someone's kid, they gotta pay it, you know, like start adding additional taxes on the criminals as opposed to the residents that are paying and doing what they're supposed to do. I'm just saying that like there's ways to get money into the city, and let's not make it comfortable for criminals, because criminals, I've heard this so many times. Oh, they live all over the place. They don't live in Compton. But why do they feel comfortable to come here to trash the city? So we have to build a respect about the town, and that's what we have to get. And we have to work together as neighbors. I mean, I go to my neighbors. If I'm working on a film shoot, I got extra pizzas. I'm giving it to them. So you know, I'm just saying that we need to work together.
Right, and I believe the sheriff did speak about clock cameras and also drones.
Yes, but we need to also find like money, because people don't want to bleed their pockets. So when I'm talking about like an additional like percentage to charge, like let's say, I don't know how much it costs if you rob a bank. If you rob a bank, it's what, $50,000 fine or something like that. Compton should charge an additional 30% on top of it that goes back, that has to come back to the city. Make it so that people don't want to commit crimes here. Don't make it comfortable. It's already too comfortable. Yes. It's comfortable. And I'm tired of looking like the crazy person because I'm speaking my mind.
Right.
That's right.
I don't know how long you agree, but
the last one?
a lot of the trash that is in their city is part of the residents. I have neighbors that take out trash, bulk trash, and I'm seeing public works, they come to pick it up, but I don't see them fighting them. Like every month, it's the same thing. The same neighbors open the doors, drop trash on the sidewalk. Every day they come home. Like, is there anything I can do about that? Are we finding those houses? Are you keeping track of that?
We're keeping track, so I can give that to the code enforcement, and take that route. I'm happy to see us picking it up. Okay. Thank you.
Let's give him a round of applause again. And I must say, thank you to Mr. Marcus, since he has been in the position. He has worked very hard. He's very responsive to when you call him. He's worked very diligently, and I can see a great amount of improvement since he's been in the position. I want to just say thank you. This is not taken away from any other presenter, but I just want to get up and say things so that I can let you know, because at the end I may forget to mention these things. So thank you, Mr. Mark.
Here 24 hours.
Thank you guys for your patience. We have one presenter, but it's a very, very wonderful time in the city to have someone paying attention to recreation. I know, like, you see the festive stuff on the walls. This clubhouse run by Ms. Mendoza, and she does a marvelous job of ensuring that there's a lot of activities here at Kelly. We have a cricket program. You've probably seen a bunch of people coming in. So now I'd like to have a presentation from our Director of Recreation and Parks, Mr. Sprague. Your starting volume.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you, Dean, for the warm introduction. As he mentioned, my name is Brian Sprague. I'm the Director of Recreation here in the city of Compton. I've been here for exactly 3 years and 7 days today. And I must say that this opportunity was something that was welcomed on my part, and I've been enjoying every part of it. Just a little history. I came to the city of Compton after spending 27 years with the County of Los Angeles Department of Parks and Recreation, serving the majority of the unincorporated areas around Compton. I was born and raised here in Compton. I'm a graduate of Compton High, Compton College, and Cal State Long Beach, and I've been in the city my entire life. Upon taking this job, I inherited a department that had been shut down during the pandemic. So the parks weren't open when I got here. So I had the opportunity to start with a clean slate. There was nothing going on. The facilities weren't operating. So I had the privilege to reestablish our swimming pool operations, restaff the department, and get community input, key staff in place to start developing programs and recreation and leisure opportunities here in the city. And I am proud to say that in 3 years' time, we have made some significant accomplishments, starting with the refurbishment of a lot of our playgrounds. We've actually almost replaced and or improved every playground in the city at this point. And we've developed some great partnerships with some organizations that care about our quality of life. Some programs that we have that we're excited about and we're looking forward to that starting now or that will be going on this summer. It's our relationship with the Clippers. We have a Junior Clippers program that we run quarterly every year. This summer we have our Junior Clipper program where registration is open right now. We're currently serving about approximately 150 youth in that program. Another partnership that we have is with the Los Angeles Dodgers, where we have our Dodger Dream Team program, where last year we served 450 kids with free uniforms, games, educational opportunities, a lot of stuff. The program offers a plethora of opportunities. In addition to that, we are offering our summer day camps this summer at all of our parks. The program runs from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. And our Dollar Ride program is up and running, fully staffed, and doing a great job at catering to our senior population and people with transportation and mobility issues. We also offer our Meals on Wheels program, where we actually allow the shut-in to receive meals from the program and or pick up meals at your closest park versus having to come to our Dollar High Community Center for their nutrition needs. And those are citywide programs, all the ones that I just mentioned, but in addition to that, all of our parks are programmed right now, and they have a variety of opportunities for the community to take advantage of. I hope that you guys will take advantage of that. The programs are from everyone from tiny tots to our seniors and everyone in between. For an example, just here at Kelly Park, we offer a girls club where we have staff and volunteers that serve as mentors for the young ladies and making sure that they understand what life's all about and have great opportunities to develop relationships with each other and socialize amongst their peers. Kelly Park also has a junior cricket program here that you've probably seen operating when you pulled up this morning. I've been working closely with the organization. We're able to actually install one of very few cricket pitches here in Southern California. It's designated to the youth. It's here in the city of Compton, and it's unique to the area. I get a lot of calls from other cities wondering, how did we do that and what is it all about? Because cricket is not something that everyone's familiar with. It's right outside in the field here. If you notice, it's all of the turf out there. It's an area, a strip, that has an artificial turf. And I'm sure if you're interested in learning more about it, they're here every weekend, and we do specialty camps and things like that so that the youth and adults can learn more about cricket, how the game is played, and how impactful that is around the world. Cricket is like soccer. In other countries, it's one of their favorite sports. I'm sorry? Oh, yeah. Speaking of pickleball, we do have pickleball. Yeah. Oh, good. We just need the interest to be there. Recently, we refurbished all of our outdoor basketball courts. And Kelly Park has pickleball court lines right outside, and so does Burrell McDonald Park. So we're just looking for individuals who are interested in playing, and we can get a game going anytime. Okay?
There it is.
We have our after-school program activities taking place at all of our facilities. I've been talking about what's going on here at Kelly, but before I move on to another facility, I just want to make mention that we have Monday meditation classes here and weekly Zumba for your fitness needs. Our swimming pools at Looters and Gonzalez Park will open up on Memorial Day weekend. We're offering swim lessons, recreational swimming, as well as water aerobics for all ages. There's a long list of programs. I don't want to go through them all, but I just want to let you know that we are programming for the community's satisfaction. If there's anything that you would like to see in your community park that we're not offering, it's just a phone call and a few efforts away from making it happen. Yes, sir.
Mr. Scratch, what are we doing to make our parks more safer so that when the kids come in, they're not forced to be in a gang or something?
Well, as I mentioned from my history in parks and recreation profession, if you program for families, that kind of deters that kind of activity. So my experience is the gangsters are not trying to put the children in danger. If you have enough activity going on, positive activity going on in your parks, the gangsters will respect that. Prime examples over at Gonzalez Park, where we have our Dodger Dream Team program. That's a natural gathering spot for the local homeboys. Yeah. But during those hours that we're programming, they step back, they step away, they take it to another location, or they remove themselves from the area until things are conducive to what they're trying to do in the parks. Ms. Furia?
I have a question. Can you talk a little bit about what's going on with the golf course?
The golf course is at a standstill right now. We are trying to figure out the best way to utilize that property. I know, there's been a lot of interest from the public as well as internally on reestablishing their golf course operation, but the best plan of action hasn't been identified just yet, but it's coming soon. Yes.
Will they involve the community in looking at the decision process for the golf course?
Yes, definitely. There has been one community outreach thus far where we submitted a request for information to kind of gather ideas from the public as to what they would like to see happening on their property. And I'm sure there's going to be many more efforts in the near future to kind of narrow that down to the best use.
Oh, no, I have a question, but you keep going.
No, that was
Oh,
it.
that was it? Okay. My question is, what do we need to do to get our Kelly Park sign? I brought it up last year, but there's the letter P, it's missing, or parts of it. So what do we need to do to get it redone? And then the digital board that you have outside, it still is referring to like 2023 and we're 2026. So what are we gonna do about getting that fixed as well?
Well, the digital board is easy fix. I will have a conversation with the park staff because they have the ability to program it and update it.
Yeah.
And then if there's some technical issues that are preventing them from doing that, then I'll work with our IT division and our general services division to resolve that issue. Same thing with the park identification sign. There may be a need to bring in a sign company to replace some of the lettering and stuff like that. But those are work orders that can be generated and initiated out of my office, and I would definitely look into it right away.
That would be great. You have a lot of great programs going on here, Zumba, cricket, all that. So that digital board would be very helpful to let the community know more.
I totally agree with you.
24/7.
The Christmas parade, yes. It's been 3 years that I've been responsible for taking the lead on coordinating that parade, and I must say that things have been going great with the community support, and we're looking forward to a very eventful 71st annual Compton Christmas parade. This year, we encourage you all to come out, be part of it. Where there's always opportunity for volunteering, there's opportunity for unique participation as well. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Yes. Yes. I am actually open to any and all classes and instruction, recreational opportunities that the public would like to see. I have the ability to do research to identify and bring in instructors. All we need to know is that there's an interest.
So how do we let you know about that interest?
You just did. For Kelly Park or any specific community that you...
I'm here Looters, and I'm also here Wilson.
Okay. Yeah, Wilson has a lot of great things going on right now. Speaking of that, just to make mention that there may be something in there that we can take advantage of right away. In addition to the Mother's Day thing planned coming soon, there's outdoor volleyball for the community. Financial literacy class courses. There's a 3-on-3 basketball tournament that's going to take place outdoors. Free CPR classes. And we offer indoor soccer and futsal at several of our facilities utilizing our gyms. We have 5 cooling stations here in the city during the warmer weather.
These are on your website somewhere?
These are all on our social media sites as well as the city's website. You'll find the flyers. You can also stop by the parks and talk to the individual community center supervisor that can provide you with additional information, assist you with the registration, give you all of the specifics you have or need. Well, if If there are no other questions, I want to thank you for your time, and I want to turn it back over to Mr. Young.
Thank you, Mr. Sprague. That's a busy agenda you have there. Thank you, staff. They've been very instrumental when we do a program at Dollar Lodge. The staff there is always so supportive and being a part of the things that we're doing. So now with that, I'm going to allow the number one person in my world to come up and close us out.
Okay, before I proceed, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mr. Bruce.
I have one request. Because the parking is of such in the city, not just in the city hall, but even when we come here. So this morning I came, there were 5 city cars taking up slots. I think that I would like for that not to be. The same as City Hall. You have parking problems with, especially on Tuesdays. All of these city cars are parked, real parking spaces. I request that they think about parking somewhere else if it's a city car.
That's an excellent idea, because there is limited parking here, and all the ones that you saw this one, they were here to make presentations, so that's why you saw the vehicles, city vehicles here. But we'll certainly take that under consideration, and maybe we can have it where they can park at one location and all ride together. So that's why it's so important to share ideas, because we can't think of everything. But before I proceed, I would like Ms. Julia to come forward. This is Ms. Teen Company. I'd like to introduce her to you all here. So they can see you. Woo! She's done a wonderful job, and I'm happy to say I sponsored her. So, and she is a winner. But it's important that we do whatever we can, because these are future leaders of tomorrow. So this is why I youth is very important to me, and I do whatever I can. So I was happy to sponsor her, and I'll add that all the winners, it was 4 of them, I gave them $100 apiece for their college fund education. All right, now, let me get back to the other business. I want everyone to know, those that are here and those that see this program, to know, please contact my office with any of your concerns, complaints, or issues you have. And also, you can contact our office with any compliments as well. We'll take those. And it's important for you to know that my top priorities is safe. I want the public safety is very important to me. I want everyone in our city to feel safe. Clean is another one. Cleanliness is so important to me to beautify our city. And as Mr. I can't remember his name always says, safe, clean, and friendly. So, and we have to be friendly and to attract other businesses here in our city. And I want to let you know that Buns Market used to be here in the city of Cummings. Rash used to be here in our city of Cummings. So we have to figure out a way to attract these businesses, because those were 2 ones of the markets that I love to shop at. Yeah. So now let me give you some more information. So the block cameras, we just approved that. So luckily for us, it's on a 4-month trial period. If we don't like it, we have the opportunity to just say, never mind, we're not going to sign the contract and move forward. I was in a meeting with the DA's office, and they were happy to hear about the cameras. They said this would be will help to them in order to get the Johns, and this would be a real help to them to do the arrest of all the persons, the Johns, for this sex trafficking. Also, yesterday I was at an event and talking with a council member from Long Beach, because we do have a task force where Compton, Linwood, and Long Beach, we work together on this sex trafficking. So, and they're going to be installing some cameras as well. So we're working really hard, and so we just keep doing whatever we can do. I was at another event, and it was stated by a young lady, the sex traffickers. The young lady said they come to Compton because we don't do anything. So people feel like they can come to Compton and do whatever they want to, and there's no consequences. But that will stop. Oh yes, I've been working hard on the sidewalk, Alameda, so it's all the way from District 2 going into all the way to Greenleaf. So that's been worked on as well. And I'm probably forgetting a million things that I need to say, but this is why these meetings are so important, to share ideas, hear your concerns, so that we can address them. But if you don't say anything, there's nothing we can do. I always say, if you see something, say something. I'm here to work and serve the city of Compton. And I've lived here over 60 years, so, and an employee for almost 30 years. So it's important to me. And people always, they don't give us what we deserve. Our salary is $600 a month, but I'm not here for the money. I'm here for the city of Compton to do whatever I can to make it better. So I decided today to do a calculation. And I figured out I make $20 an hour. But that's okay, because I'm not here for the money. I just want our city to improve. Our city used to be beautiful, and we can get it back where it used to be. So, and we must work together. Because if I don't hear from you, I don't know what to do. I don't have all the ideas. I have some. But I'm continuously working to do whatever I can to improve. And I listen to what you have to say, and I do my best to work hard. Again, I thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedule. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to let you know, I'm starting college Monday, so I'll take my $100 now.
No, I'm giving adults $500. Yeah. But please know that I work from the bottom of my heart, and I'm sincere about whatever I do. And at any time that I think that I can't be doing what's best for the city of Compton, I know how to give a resignation letter. But I don't want to do that. God has not told me to do that. God made me on purpose for a purpose. And I'm working here in my city, where I've lived for, like I said, over 60 years. And I will continue to do what I think is in the best interest of the city and the citizens of this community. Thank you so much again for being here. Can we give all of our presenters a round of applause for all the valuable information that they have shared. Thank you again. God bless all of you.